Hi guys, it's Wendy from Ask the Landlady. I'm here with all the tips and tricks to help you make a profit in real estate rentals. I do have some books out, so check them out on Amazon. It'll tell you everything you need to know that you're not getting from my videos or from my website and that type of thing. But check me out, Ask the Landlady, and grab the books. But for now, we're on question 83. I can't believe it. And it is, what are short and midterm rentals? You probably have heard that bandied about, especially if you're interested at all in real estate. And of course, most people are familiar with Airbnb and Vrbo and those types of things when they go on vacation. But with our economy so uncertain and people moving around or trying to pick up extra gigs and that type of thing, sometimes it makes sense for people to do a short-term rental in an area instead of buying or renting, because things are so uncertain. So they might look to you for something more short-term, like 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 3 months. And if you're in the real estate game at all, that's kind of a pain. It's a lot of turnover. But there are some things you can do to make that easier on yourself, and you're going to build that into the price, right? The price is always going to be more for a short or a midterm rental than it is for somebody who's going to be there for a year or 2 years or 5 years. Those are the people that are going to get a more steady rent because they're staying for the long term. And your turnover of having to go in and clean or paint or do things is going to be much more minimized. So that being said, here's some things that you want to keep in mind when you want to do a short or a midterm rental. Usually you're going to use a website like Airbnb or Vrbo, or if you're looking for people who are going to be more midterm instead of short term, meaning like that 3 to 6 month, then you're going to look at something called Furnished Finder, which is where a lot of the travel nurses go, or people who are traveling consultants and they don't want to stay in a hotel for a couple weeks. They're going to be looking at something like Furnished Finder. Now, when you're going to be doing these midterm rentals, you're going to do better if they're furnished, right? Because people don't want to drag all their furniture from, that's the whole reason they're coming to you, is I'm only going to be here for 6 weeks and I want it like lock key in and out kind of thing. So there's about 4 things you want to keep in mind when you're looking at furnishing the unit. First of all, durability, right? You want something that is going to withstand lots of people coming in and out over time, and they're not going to maybe necessarily, yourself, when you go to a hotel, you might plop on that bed or the kids are jumping on it because you don't own it. So you want some durable stuff that can stand up to all that type of traffic. Functionality, you don't want to put anything in there that doesn't have a purpose or a need, because people aren't going to know what it is or take care of it. That you want the minimal for what you want. So if you have a place that you are doing for functionality, you may have a sofa bed in there, because that will make another bed, which will get you more money, because then you can say, oh yeah, your kids can visit you on the weekends and there's another bed. So that can be built into your price as well. You want to stay neutral, nothing wild and crazy. You don't want expensive bed linens that maybe you live there and they're hand sewn. No, take that stuff out. You want to stay neutral and calm, because people are just coming in here for a short amount of time. They don't want anything crazy going on there. And you just want the essentials as far as kitchen type appliances. You don't need to have you don't need to have a waffle maker, right? But you do want, there does need to be a stove, refrigerator, microwave. I'd say at minimum, coffee pot is a good idea, because it will probably get you some more traffic for shorter term, because then they don't have to bring a coffee pot with them, that type of thing. And last thing, I think this is actually 5, sorry about that, not 4. Safety issues. Have a fire extinguisher. Make sure that you have the detectors and that type of thing. And maybe a keypad lock for safety and security, because you don't want to be messing around with keys, and you want that person to feel safe as they're coming into a new area, that type of thing. Good lighting, and that type of thing. And you may even consider your local laws about cameras, especially if this is a short-term rental, just because it's going to make everybody feel safe. Maybe a Ring doorbell is another good thing, because this person is probably going to be doing a lot of DoorDash and that type of thing. And having those safety features are going to set you a little bit apart from the other guys. Plus, keep an eye on your property, which is good. So in hot markets, these short and midterm rentals make sense because there's a lot of traffic, right? People are coming into work at the major hospital, or they're coming in for NFL games, say, if you're right near the stadium for that type of thing, or concerts and ongoing events like that. But if you're in a small little town like I am, it doesn't make as much sense. I know some people who do it, do the short-term Airbnb, and they get, the major holidays and that type of thing, but it ends up to be more of a hobby, and they have a lot of, it's not enough to really justify that much turnover. So for what we do is we do regular rentals. If somebody wants a short-term rental, like say for a summer or a 6-month gig or something, sometimes if we have the vacancy, we will work that out because we will increase the rent to justify that hey, in 6 months we're gonna have to come in and do all this again and find another tenant. So your rent's gonna go up by $50, $100, $200, whatever, because this person needs something short term and you're going to be able to provide that, but it is going to cause you a little bit more work. So there you have it, short and midterm rentals. If you didn't know what they are, now you do, and maybe you can look at it and see if you think it will work for you. So shoot me a comment. I'd love to know those of you who are out there walking it in the world of midterm rentals, and maybe you can give us some advice, and hit subscribe as always. And thanks. Have a great day.